Before we get into this episode, you are invited to our 4-day in-person training to become an intuitive psychology coach in Edinburgh on the 16th until the 19th of March 2026.
This is an in-person intensive learning experience where you will be trained by myself and Jill directly to become an accredited intuitive psychology coach, but places are limited. So head on over to the website for full details to secure your place. Hello and welcome to another episode of Intuitive Psychology, the podcast. I am one of your hosts, Sarah Gregg, and I'm joined by co-founder, friend, all-round powerhouse and superstar, Jill Ritchie.
Thank you for that gorgeous introduction. Whoop, whoop. We're back with another season and we've decided to give as much as we possibly can to the listeners of the podcast and this season. And we're so passionate about a number of things. One of them is people that feel like an imposter. And what we want to talk about is particularly in the wellness space, the coaching industry. And we're just going to say it. You're right.
You should feel like an imposter.
If you feel like an imposter, you absolutely should, especially when it comes to the work that you're doing. It needs to be taken seriously. You should be looking for the absolute best credentials and training that you possibly can get, especially when we're working with the nervous system. It has frustrated us for a number of years when people jump on buzzwords and they go in messing around with the nervous system, thinking that they've, I just did this meditation. Oh, I could do that inner child thing and I'll just go away and do that with a client and make some money out of it. And we're completely messing with someone's unconscious, their nervous system, and it can be so damaging. So if you're in the coaching industry and you're feeling a little bit like an imposter, that's a good thing.
Yeah, you should feel like an imposter because this is important work. The coaching industry is a wild west. It is unregulated. It means that anyone can wake up tomorrow and call themselves a coach, that they can market themselves extremely well on Instagram or any other social media platforms. They can now use ChatGPT to formulate marketing material. It can all sound really good. It can hit the pain points. They will definitely get clients as a result of it. Because let's face it, if you have the boldness and the audacity to instantly call yourself a coach and think that you can work in a trauma-informed way, to work with the unconscious, to work with lots of multiple parts, and you don't believe that you need training for it, let's face it, you're probably going to be bold online. Shocker.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably just going to have the nerve to put it out there. But it is so important that we challenge this and that we are actively challenging this at the Intuitive Psychology Association to say it's not good enough and we need to do better. And the coaching industry needs to be regulated because we are in really changing times. Consciousness has rapidly evolved. More of us are aware of our attachment styles, our triggers. These are all words that are now in everyday language, trauma informed. They're all these kind of buzzwords that we know and clients know, and educated clients, need more from their coach. And the reality is if you're thinking about getting into this space, you should feel like an imposter. It should feel like the gravitas of the importance of the work that you're going to do. You want to be trained in the right way. You want to make sure that you're doing the absolute best for your clients. And that's what we champion at IPA.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me, Sarah, is all of that, right? Is the training. The biggest thing for me, and what I'll stand by all day, every day, is that you need to do your own work. You can learn and you can train with the best of the best. And we have seen this because we mark every single student assignment. Now, our students come in and train with us in the Master Diploma. It's 6 months. And I'm not talking about you have one call a month and it's all friendly. It is challenging. You ask anyone that has been through our training and every one of them will tell you, I underestimated that. I knew that would be challenged, but I completely underestimated that. And it should be challenging. Your training should challenge you. It should push you to the point where you think, why am I doing this? I don't know if I want to do that. because you have to go through that pain yourself of unraveling identities, your old traumas, your old stuff, to really comfortably and confidently and with integrity sit in front of a client and be able to hold space for them. Because if you have not held space, if you have not done your work, how on earth can you seriously sit there with honesty and sit with a client and be able to hold space for them? I don't think you can. I think you can help. I'm not saying that you can't do a good job, but when it comes to trauma-informed coaching, which we're seeing everywhere now, what level of your work have you done? And I'm not just talking about a couple of meditations. I'm talking about the real work, the stuff that we talk about on this podcast, the real identity shifts, the real getting down to the nitty-gritty of the seed of where that wound comes from, and being able to be with your discomfort and go on that journey yourself. And to me, I'll stand by that. If you have not done that, you shouldn't be in the space holding that for clients.
Yeah, I agree. And it is like it's an uncomfortable truth potentially for a lot of people. And look, let's kind of just talk and put this in. There's a spectrum of coaches, and that's important to say. In the same way that you can have a spectrum of accountants or web design agencies, like every profession has a spectrum. When we talk about the masters, that is for people who are trauma informed, want to operate to the highest level in their profession. They're accredited to the highest possible level by the Association for Coaching.
They're observed in every single training. So we are training with the masters we're talking about, right? We have our training calls every second week, 4 hours, and it's intensive. They're observed in every single observation, every single practice. They have observations by our team, by us. They get feedback. So we are able to see their progress. We're able to give live in the moment feedback. We're able to jump on a call with them if we feel that they need extra support. So they are very held in that space because a lot of them do unravel their own stuff. You're right. There's business coaches out there that we're not talking about that. We're not talking about someone that's coaching you and helping your business. These guys are amazing and they've got lots of experience and they're brilliant. We're talking about people that are deeply holding people in work that activates the nervous system. That's what we're talking about here. And it has to matter. For us, you have to go to those parts. You have to know yourself on those deeper levels to be able to hold that space for others. And not just that, you also have to go through proper training.
You do. It's like, would you go to a dentist that had never been to dentistry school, but could talk about white smiles and straight teeth and different, but you just wouldn't. And clients deserve more, and this profession deserves more. And when we started IPA, it really was with the mission that still defines us, is to innovate and challenge and up-level the standards of the coaching industry. And when we talk about you've got to unravel and you've got to go through the pain, you might be thinking, well, I don't want to do that. That scares me. We get it. But let us tell you what's on the other side of that. Our students who do this, who get to the core of some of their unconscious drivers, they step out of self-limiting beliefs. They step into their full potential. They might start the course thinking, I don't know if I can be visible as a coach. I don't know if I can bring my whole self to this. They then move into taking up space on TEDx stages, publishing books. We had an email from one of our previous graduates who's just bought land in Mexico and is building her own retreat center out there.
I know. I mean, wow.
So this work matters because when you are the living embodiment of what is on the other side of facing your own discomfort, clients are magnetized to you. They are magnetized. They feel it. They feel the shift, and you're able to hold them in their discomfort because, for example, often we'll observe students on a call because holding discomfort is hard. Most people who are attracted into coaching as a profession are naturally fixers. They're naturally people who want to make people feel better. And it's such a positive attribute. But when you come and train with us, we pair that attribute with the ability to hold discomfort and completely reframe how you view negative emotions. So when you know and have had the direct experience of when I sat with that discomfort and someone held me in complete positive regard with no judgment, and that they let me just feel what I needed to feel. On the other side of that, I felt a release and I felt good. Then when the client surfaces that emotion, you don't like bottle it up and go, no, Jill, you're okay. You don't need to feel like that. No, you're really, really good. You're a good person. Okay, just tell me, what is it that you do want? And all of a sudden, that emotion, that trapped emotion that you've created space to surface becomes re-trapped again, becomes trapped in the body. Now, when you can look, I'm using Jill as an example, but when I can look at Jill and I can go, okay, I can see that emotion, it's safe. Like, how safe do you feel to allow that emotion to rise? Let's just be with that emotion. Let it come. You're doing really well. Let that surface. That's great. This emotion just wants to release. And we can hold that space in like the deepest form of safety. Then all of a sudden, that emotion that has been trapped for years and years and years, that is in the unconscious, that is governing your energy, that is a spark to all of the habits, systems, identities, and beliefs, begins to discharge, begins to lose momentum. And there is a shift on an energetic and a bodily level. And that client changes. And you know, in that moment of discomfort, that is not the client breaking down. It is not you causing hurt or harm. You haven't distressed the client. You're helping the client move through something that they have never been able to process before.
Right. And you've created safety. And when someone is the embodiment of this work, they can create so much safety for a client. And it's a felt sense. It is just, you know, it's your intuition switched on. You know, when you walk in a room and you're like, this person's safe. You feel it. You don't know why you feel it. You just feel it. And then sometimes you can walk in a room and you're like, I'm not getting a good vibe from this person. They maybe haven't even opened their mouth and you're like, nah, not feeling it with this person. That is your intuition. It's always active. It's always there, right? It's always communicating with you, but sometimes we just don't want to listen. We show you how to not only listen to that, but trust it and take aligned action from that place. But if someone is not the embodiment of the work, they've maybe trained and even studied, or they've maybe just listened to some podcasts, or they've been coached themselves, which all of these things, by the way, tick, 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 tick. But what we're talking about is doing all of that and processing your own work, so that what happens when you do that, you're not projecting your map of the world onto your client. And we've seen this before, right? Where sometimes people are like, here's what I did. And that's the fixer in us, right? You know, because we're like, oh, I know exactly what you need to do here. That's your map of the world. And you may think you know, but your client needs to go in and find that for themselves, because it is the most empowering gift you can give to someone, is to open up that space for someone to really have that aha moment to go, okay, I had the keys to the kingdom the whole time.
Yeah.
It was me.
And most of the coaches that come and train with us, they do feel like imposters at the start. In fact, the most common things that we hear on application calls are, I know I want to go deeper with my clients. I know that there's more, and when I'm in a session, I can feel it, but I want to feel ethically equipped to do that. Like, I want to know that when I have a client and they're surfacing that I have a framework and I have a toolkit and I have the accreditation that supports me to really guide them through that safe space. So it is really important, like whether you're thinking about being a coach or whether you're looking for a coach, you need to check for accreditation. Like, accreditation is so important because it is the gold seal of approval that is given by an independent expert third body that says, yes, this approach works. This approach is meets all of the regulations and all of the guidelines and is ethical and is in integrity and is professional. If you're not accredited and you're looking at a training that isn't accredited, you've got to ask yourself why. Just because someone says it's good doesn't automatically like give you that big tick. Now, I'm not saying that every non-accredited course isn't good. That's not the message. No. What I'm saying is, when you're dealing with the Wild West, you need to have standards that show excellence, and especially as clients really realize that actually I don't want an Instagram coach. Do you know, I don't want someone that's just good on social media. I want someone that can deliver results. You put it into Google, what do I need to look for when I'm looking for a coach or someone to help me? It will say, look for someone who's accredited. So when you invest in a training provider that is accredited, you're investing in your career, in your ability to get more clients as well.
It sounds like I'm being biased here, and probably am in a way, but like, there's the accreditation. and there's looking for what you need from it. For me, like I was accredited, but I didn't get what I fully needed. I did it because I needed the accreditation. That was important, but I always knew there was deeper I wanted to go. And I think for us, that was so important, bringing that into light and life in the coaching industry, because there wasn't anyone doing what we were doing, but we were like, we cannot sugarcoat this. Like, okay, what's your goal and how do we achieve it? There's so much more to that. Like, we now know that 95% is in the unconscious. So wouldn't it make sense then to coach the unconscious, the 95% that's actually running the show? Like, that's not just Sarah and I saying it. That's proven. That's evidence, right? It's proven. So we need to stop dancing around it in surface level work and actually going on that journey of fully training and learning this for yourself and being the embodiment of the work. Because learning, it's one thing, being embodying it's another, but doing them two combined together at the same time, it's a game changer.
It is a game changer.
Because yes, I will do my work on myself, which is life-changing in itself for you. And yes, I will have a thriving business in this industry. And that's what we promote both. And we do it simultaneously in the training. And listen, when I talk to my sister about this, she's like, yeah, Jill, but what if, I don't know if I would want to do that. I mean, it's great, but it is particularly deeper, that's our passion. It's important to us. Not everyone wants to do that. And I get that. Couple of things I want to say on that. If you don't want to do it, fine, but don't start messing with people's nervous system. Don't go there. Refer them out. Be ethical and refer them to someone who is fully qualified in that space and can hold it. Or two, if you're like, I want to learn this. I don't maybe want to do something quite as deep, but I want to understand more and have some tools and techniques and work within the boundaries that is safe for me and also safe for my client. Well, that's another reason why we put the fundamentals together.
A huge reason why we put the fundamentals together. 6 months is a commitment. It's a significant investment, which pays off. A lot of our coaches get their return on investment often when they're in it. But you've got to be a particular type of person for that. And we're very unapologetic in saying it's really not for everyone. It's capped at 25, per cohort for a reason. But if you want to work with the whole person, if you want to work with intuition, if you want that innovative modality that combines science and spirituality, and you want to go deeper with clients, or you're a new coach, then we designed the fundamentals to really act as an accelerator program. So 4 days in person, working directly with me and Jill with our combined too many years of experience, Stephen. An embarrassing amount of years experience between us. God, I think it must be it's over 20 years, easy. In a room, in a supportive environment with people who value integrity, ethics, growth,
and good training.
Then honestly, you will not find another training like it. We have spent, we ran it this time last year, and we spent another 9 months refining and distilling it down into the best 4-day program that didn't compromise on quality in any way. Just because it's over 4 days, you think, will it still be the same? Let me tell you, it's intense. It's accelerated, but it's unbelievable what we have planned. And to be in the room with you in real time is going to be something else. So the dates for that is the 16th to the 19th of March 2026. And it's going to be in Edinburgh. And full details are on our website. So if you're feeling that pull and call, you're a new coach, maybe you want to add coaching into an existing practice because you're a breathwork instructor, fitness professional, or you're an existing coach and you're I really need to refresh my framework, then let me tell you, this is honestly the one for you. Places are limited. It is accredited. Full details are on our website, including a really great course overview that will walk you through everything. But it's something that you just don't want to miss out on. We don't know if we'll run it again. We probably will. We don't know how many times a year. But you want to be part of the first one because I just think it's exciting.
It's something so special about the first one. And for us in person, again, it's that intuitive knowing. We know it's going to be exceptional. Get yourself in the room with us. Learn directly from us in real time, in person, face to face. You will enter that room one way and you will leave completely up-leveled. And I'll say that with absolute confidence. You will not leave the same as you enter in the best possible way. It is not as deep in terms of, you know, in the 6 months training, it's 34 techniques.
Trauma informed, holding negative emotions, processing past emotions and pain. Like that is for a particular type of coach who really, you know, wants to go deep with clients and wants to work, you know, at a very high end. This will still give you a toolkit to powerfully coach. But if you're not quite ready to kind of like hold that space, like, but you're curious about coaching, and you want to go deeper, then the fundamentals is a no-brainer.
And you'll still get incredible training and techniques, lots of practice, lots of observations in the moment, feedback. Yeah, it's jam-packed. Hence the reason it's an intensive over 4 days. But again, guys, get yourself in the room, get yourself signed up to this. This is an investment and an important one, not only for you personally, but professionally. So wherever you are, if it's you're in corporate right now, you want to take it into your work, as Sarah said, you're in the wellness industry, you're already a coach, or you want to become an accredited coach, this is the one for you. So details on the link in the show notes. You can also visit the website, www.intuitive-psychology.com. And yeah, amazing, Sarah. Important. So all y'all imposter syndromes, really question, are you at that level you need to be to have the confidence and the audacity to do what you're doing? If it's yes, amazing, huge well done. If not, get yourself in the room with Sarah and I, and we will support you to get you to where you need to be to exceed on all of those levels.